In 1609, a wonderful colony called New Amsterdam was established. It was a colony in which colonists and natives lived together in harmony, where many people migrated to obtain wealth. And many individuals received generous land grants. What you all just witnessed were people's perceptions of New Amsterdam, not reality.
It all started in 1609 when Henry Hudson was hired by the Dutch East India Company to find the Northeast Passage to India. He sailed west, hoping to discover the Northwest Passage to Asia, but instead he arrived at the coast of Cape Cod, sailing into a large river, which he named the Hudson River after he returned to Europe. The Dutch West India Company, offering colonists the religious toleration and cheap land not available in Europe, continued to attract large numbers of settlers seeking prosperity in New Amsterdam, which was initially established by Dutch entrepreneurs as a series of trading posts, towns, and forts along the Hudson River that also served as military outposts controlled by appointees of the West India Company.
Chapter 1: Establishing the Confederate System.
The Dutch West India Company named a Director General, Peter Minuit, to lead the colony, who would act on his own accord but would act upon his orders from the Dutch West India Company. Here's Peter Minuit opening a letter from the company.
Dear Peter Minuit, we, the Dutch West India Company, have appointed you as New Amsterdam's Director General. This may seem like an all-powerful role, but remember, you answer to us only. All laws made by the Director General are only possible with the consent of the Dutch West India Company.
Sub-government roles were fulfilled by individuals who the Dutch West India Company paid to live and work there.
Cheap land and trade policies attracted many migrants to New Amsterdam. Chapter 2: The Economy. Standards of living in Europe rose. Fur-lined coats, fur collars, and other fur products became a necessary commodity. Step 1: Bring tools to trade with the Indians. Supplies the Indians want are knives, axes, needles, glassware, kettles, and duffel. Step 2: Exchange the tools for fur. Indians of many tribes bring animal pelts along 3 major river systems to Dutch trading posts. Go there and collect the fur.
Chapter 3: Conflict with Natives. At first, the Dutch had a policy of appeasement towards the Iroquois natives to meet requirements of the lucrative fur trade. However, as the colony's population increased, so did corruption and careless trading policies. What once was a prosperous alliance formed for mutual benefit and prosperity deteriorated into the natives being seen as an obstacle to settlement. Soon, campaigns were led to eradicate the river Indians, and settlements spread up the Hudson River. Over time, Dutch encounters with natives became less friendly.
Chapter 4: Religion. In order to sustain population growth, follow the religious tolerance policy. Except for the Catholics, because no one likes the Catholics. The Dutch were mainly Protestants after the Protestant Reformation, and they tried to gain converts among the native population. However, they did not try to impose their religion on the natives. Chapter 4: Social Indicators.
Step 1. Have lots of kids since infant mortality is high, so a lot of your kids are going to die. Pro tip. You can keep naming your kids the same name until one of them actually survives.
Goodbye, Billy number 3. Hello, Billy number 4.
Step 2. Do not be concerned if you have to remarry and adopt stepchildren several times.
Do you take Brandon to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
And do you, Brandon, take this woman to be your wife?
I do.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
The high mortality rate is common in Dutch colonies.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Step 3. Educate your kids. Everyone gets to go to school. If your family cannot afford to pay the fee, then the fee will be waived. Kids will learn counting, spelling, reading, and grammar. Fun fact, girls get to learn these skills too. Kids also study the Bible and teachings of the Dutch Reformed Church.
Show us your mercy, Lord, and grant us your salvation.
Step 4. These activities will generate the maximum amount of fun in your Dutch colony. Kids can play leapfrog, jump rope, or card games. Adults can play sports such as golf and carriage races. Important note, do not play these games on Sundays or days of fasting and prayer. You need to spend these days with your family.
Do you have a queen?
Show fish.
Step 5. Preserving your culture. Take good care of your furniture since most of it has more than one function, and you're going to pass it on to your kids if they ever survive.
Son, I passed down this valuable furniture to you. It's been in our family for generations.
Step 6. Relax and have fun on the holidays. Don't be like those uptight Puritans in the Massachusetts Bay. Invite your neighbors over for a drink on New Year's and give gifts on Christmas. These traditions will last for a long time.
The Dutch colonies have contributed to the modern definition of America in various ways. America is a very diverse country and we embrace our diversity. This alludes to the aspect of religious and ethnic diversity in the Dutch colonies, as the Dutch were religiously tolerant, allowing Huguenots, Calvinists, and Jews to live amongst each other. The Dutch society was also made up of a variety of ethnicities. Only 50% of the colonists were actually Dutch. The Dutch's embracement of diversity was also seen in America for many decades. In America, as well as in the Dutch colonies, education has been an essential aspect of life for all people.
With the people away from the church, there were no major enforcements, so colonists enjoyed more liberty, especially in religious matters. Liberty is whatever the Director General did not restrict from them, and because the Director Generals did not impose many laws, there were lots of liberties. The colonists also had economic liberty as they were allowed to own land and could profit from cultivating sugar and tobacco. Furthermore, the trade policies were lax and allowed the colonists to form trade relations with the native population.
Individuals come to New Amsterdam seeking opportunities for wealth and a new life, and the community was created to maximize the chance of success for these individuals. However, the individual in the community always puts his property first, but individuals would come together to achieve a common goal, as seen in the Dutch West India Company, a joint stock company which allowed people to minimize risks by pooling their resources together.
The Dutch colonies have left an impact on America culturally, geographically, and politically. In Dutch colonies, women had more freedom as they retained a separate legal identity, could go to court, borrow money, and own property. This idea of gender equality still plays a huge role in America's culture today. The Dutch established a populated city near the Hudson River, and the population trend can still be seen as New Amsterdam, now known as New York, is one of the most populated cities in America. The Dutch government called on prominent citizens from time to time, which has today manifested itself into a full elected assembly, a major part of America's government.
Their concept of property rights was that property was available in amounts corresponding to the people's wealth. However, this changed when the need for more settlers arrived, and so the land became cheaper, while with 6 years of labor, free land was given to those people.